Well, hi everyone. My name is Marty and thanks for stopping in. Today I am making lunch. Now I'm making lunch from leftovers because I am part of a collab put on by Angie from Me and You Acres. And the collab that I'm part of is called Meals on a Budget. Now last night I made roasted chicken thighs with the backs and legs attached. Then I oven roasted vegetables alongside carrots, onion, potatoes. Now my budget, I spent a little bit more on supper because it had the meat and everything, and I knew I was going to have leftovers. Now my favorite way of extending my food dollars and also saving me time is to prep the night before during dinner. So my chicken legs were already cooked. When they were cooled off, I popped them in the fridge. I've taken them out today, put them in a pot, and I have them simmering right now. And while they were simmering, I popped in a loaf of bread from my sourdough starter. So I made sourdough bread, just in case somebody, in the house, it's cold and rainy today, if they would like bread along with their meal. Well, let's check, see what's going on here. Oh, perfect. The bones are starting to show there. The meat's starting to fall off. And I have taste tested it already, and it tastes really good. So I will strain that broth off, cool off the meat, and add it back into the broth. Then I'll add in the vegetables, drop in the noodles, and I'm going to take this out of the pan. It's been slightly cooling in there, but I want to completely cool it before we cut it so the loaf stays nice and tender. Well, while the chicken legs are simmering away to make that wonderful broth, I have put in my mixer 1 egg, half a cup of sourdough starter, and 1 cup of flour. And off camera, I will blend this until it forms a ball, and then I will let it rest for up to half an hour, just so it releases and softens a little bit, so I'll be able to roll it out. So I've lightly floured half of the dough after it has rested. It makes it so much easier to cut. Now I'm using this roller because I'm on my countertop and I don't want to use a knife. This one here has very rounded edges. The kids love to use this, and the grandchildren. You can use a knife if you have it on a dough board or surface that is meant to use a knife on. Now these can be long noodles, but I'm going to cut them into short noodles. So I'm just going to quickly do this and add them to the plate that I already have. I may not use all of these. Now I do like to let them air dry, and I have a plate ready here already cut. So these I'm going to let just slightly air dry, and they will be considered a fresh noodle. So when it goes into the water, it's only going to take maybe 3-4 minutes for them to cook, and they are amazing. Well, I've taken the meat off the bones. I have already strained it, the juice first. So that's basically making that meal. Prep this. Now that has cooled that down. I want to bring that up to a boil. And here we go. We're just going to, now they're pretty much separated. I had them separated out drying, just the edges a little bit. And there we go. So I'm not going to stir it. I'm just going to lightly push them apart. Now, these pop up and they're so tender. I couldn't believe it the first time I made it with the sourdough. I've made pasta in the past, but by far the easiest pasta to make. You can make your noodles from discard. I don't think a lot of people know that. Yeah, so you don't even have to feed it or anything. You just take it out of the fridge, stir it up, measure off the discard, add in your egg, your flour. You can mix it by hand. You don't have to have a mixer for it. Just mix it by hand and keep pushing on it. You know, turn it, push with your heel of your hand. And the key always with making the pasta is the rest time. Same with the pastry crust. It relaxes your dough and makes it so much easier for you just to roll it out. There's no effort to it. And then cut up. Look at that. Look how fluffy that's becoming already. Well, there you go, guys. That is only one bowl of the soup, and there's more than 4 servings in that pot. Definitely more than 4. And we're going to get more than 4 servings out of this bread, which costs me to make under 50 cents. And when you count the flour, and that's why I use a sourdough starter, because I'm never buying yeast ever again. And I just capture it in my kitchen, in my starter. The butter, yes, definitely, that's going to be a few pennies per slice of bread. And how hearty is that? And it's the evening, so I know I'm going to end up into a carb coma here, but it's going to be worth it. And the sourdough noodles taste amazing. You can let your dough sit for a bit longer, like in your fridge, to get a bit more of a flavor from it. But if it's if you want to do it right away, make up your dough, and it won't be as strong a flavor. It's quite nice. I know it's not for everyone, so you can make a traditional, just egg, flour, oil type of dough. And again, it's only pennies to make it, because this here took, what was it? It was a cup of flour, or half a cup of flour. It was hardly anything to make this dough. Well, I'm going to leave the cost breakdown in the description for everyone, so they have a look at it. And you guys have a great day. Well, this is what's left over from my Meals on a Budget collaboration from lunch. I have enough left over for 4 more servings of soup with the noodles. It's homemade, and at least 4 thick slices of sourdough bread.